Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Arjun Chaudhary. Here are the top stories we're tracking for you on Thursday, the 4th of September. Al-Qaeda declares new wing to wage war in the Indian subcontinent. Twin Taliban bombings in Afghanistan leave 18 dead. And Pakistan rejects claims of Islamic State influence in border regions. And now for all the details. Al-Qaeda chief Ayman Al-Zawahiri has announced launching of his outfit's new branch to spread its struggle in the Indian subcontinent. In a recent video, Zawahiri is seen pledging to crush the artificial borders dividing Muslim population in the region.
Al-Qaeda has expanded into India. The militant group's chief has announced this ahead of the 13th anniversary of the September 11 terrorist attacks on US soil. Ayman Al-Zawahiri, who heads the group responsible for the 2001 attacks in New York, says the outfit's new wing would spread Islamic rule across the Indian subcontinent. He has also pledged to rescue Muslims from injustice and oppression in several Indian states, including Assam, Gujarat and Kashmir. Muslims account for 15% of the Indian population, the third largest Muslim population in the world. The formation of an Al-Qaeda unit in the Indian subcontinent has triggered alarm bells.
It's extremely worrying if the Al-Qaeda chief has now put India in the crosshairs of the radical Islamist organizations of the world. The government must take cognizance of this.
This is not the first time Al-Qaeda has included India in its declaration to wage jihad. But security experts warn the latest announcement could have more serious implications. They say the message is stronger and is aimed directly at the country. Other intelligence sources say the Egyptian cleric's video could be an attempt to redirect the world's attention away from the Islamic State, a breakaway jihadist faction of the Al-Qaeda.
They believe that there are some Muslim youth who are unhappy with the Indian state and would be willing to join them. And now this is going to create a problem in times to come, because this will create a competition of sorts between Al-Qaeda and Islamic State. Because as it is, Al-Qaeda, which was the predominant radical outfit across the globe, has lost some relevance.
While Islamic State has made significant advancements across Iraq and Syria, Al-Qaeda's latest threats pose a challenge for India's security agencies already fighting militancy on several fronts within its borders.
Australian Prime Minister Tony Abbott, who is on a 3-day visit to India, called for greater cooperation in the field of education between the two nations. A report.
Australian Prime Minister Tony Abbott on Thursday visited the University of Mumbai as part of an educational exchange program between the two countries. He also inaugurated the new Colombo Plan, which aims at widening cooperation between the South Asian countries. The new initiative will help in strengthening cultural and academic relations between India and Australia, Prime Minister Abbott said.
What we now want in Australia is a two-way street. We want to return the compliment to our region by sending our best and brightest to the great universities of our region so that they can live, can learn, can speak the local languages and come back to our country enriched by that experience.
The Australian Premier also met Indian cricketing legend Sachin Tendulkar at a felicitation ceremony for young players by Aussie cricket greats Adam Gilchrist and Brett Lee. Prime Minister Abbott, who arrived in India on Wednesday, is also scheduled to meet his Indian counterpart Narendra Modi and President Pranab Mukherjee on Friday. Both countries are expected to sign deals in the fields of business, sports and the much-anticipated civil nuclear deal to supply uranium to India.
At least 18 people were killed in two separate bomb blasts in Afghanistan on Thursday. The explosives planted on trucks went off outside the office of Afghanistan's spy agency and a police compound in the central town of Ghazni, which also injured more than 150 people. Afghan officials said at least 19 militants were involved in the twin attacks, which was one of the biggest in recent times. The bomb strike also comes days after the headquarters of the National Directorate of Security came under a terror attack. The Afghan Taliban, which claimed responsibility for the twin attacks, has stepped up violence across the country as part of its summer offensive. On to some other developments now. Pakistan has rejected reports of the Islamic State or the IS distributing propaganda literature in northwestern city of Peshawar. This comes amid reports of many more cases being surfaced by the militia on Thursday.
Pakistan Foreign Ministry on Thursday said there was no evidence of the IS distributing its propaganda material along the Pakistan-Afghanistan border region.
I have seen media reports about some pamphlets being found in KPK, Peshawar and some other places. You know our approach to terrorism. Daesh or any other group, there's no exclusion. But I must still add that these are media reports. We have not seen any evidence of their presence on our territory.
This comes after reports of the Islamist militia distributing booklets printed in Pashto and Dari in the area around Peshawar surfaced. The pamphlets claim the caliphate declared in parts of Iraq and Syria will expand to Khorasan, comprising Pakistan, Iran, Afghanistan and Central Asian countries. The group sought local support to their so-called caliphate, which now controls large parts of Iraq and Syria. The latest incidents comes at a time when many Sunni extremist groups in Pakistan, including the recently split faction of the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, has pledged its allegiance to the extremists.
Intelligence agencies in Pakistan are targeting family members of Baloch refugees who have fled to Western countries, a human rights watchdog has said. The report also claims that more than 50 new cases of enforced disappearances have been reported recently from the insurgency-hit province.
The Asian Human Rights Commission or AHRC said it has received information that children of victims of enforced disappearances are continuously being targeted by Pakistan's security agencies in Balochistan. The rights watchdog claims that family members of prominent Baloch nationalist leaders, including the son of Kachkol Ali, has been picked up by men in plain clothes. Ali, who was the leader of opposition in the Provincial Assembly, fled Pakistan in 2010 and has been living in Norway ever since. The report also expresses fear that the abducted children of those who are living abroad would be killed in detention centers of security forces, which has been a common practice. Balochistan, which is geographically the largest province of Pakistan, has witnessed thousands of enforced disappearances in the past few decades. Nationalist leaders and activists are arbitrarily picked up by the agencies in an effort to quell the uprising happening for over 6 decades now. The Baloch, who claimed that Pakistan illegally occupied their homeland in 1948, have been seeking greater autonomy and a fair share of its rich mineral wealth.
A member of the minority Sikh community was stabbed to death in a targeted attack in northwest Pakistan on Wednesday. The incident happened in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa's Mardana, some 260 miles from Peshawar. A trader by profession, the victim was killed inside a shop. This is the second such attack in the province, targeting the minority community in a month. An elderly Sikh was killed and 2 others were injured in a gun attack in Peshawar last month. The nearly 20,000 strong Sikh community has its presence in Punjab and Sindh as well, with some of the religion's most revered places, including the birthplace of its founder, Guru Nanak, located in Pakistan. The minority community has, however, long complained of being regularly targeted in the Muslim majority nation. Interior Secretary level talks were held between India and Bangladesh in Dhaka, where India raised the issue of cross-border crimes, land boundary agreement and counter-terror initiatives. Here is a report.
A 13-member Indian delegation headed by Interior Secretary Anil Goswami was in Bangladesh for the 15th Interior Secretary level talks this week. Goswami met his Bangladeshi counterpart Muzammil Haq Khan to discuss a joint strategy to deal with poaching, piracy and pushing of illegal arms and insurgents through the Sundarbans riverine. The three-day meeting also focused on smoothing cross-border movement of people and goods. The two sides also decided on extradition of separatist Ulfa leader Anup Chetia to India. Chetia is lodged in detention in Bangladesh for the past 17 years and a Bangladeshi court is hearing his plea seeking political asylum in the country. Bangladesh and India signed an extradition treaty for disrupting the regional connections and networks among terrorist outfits in South Asia in January 2013. The two neighbors had also agreed to implement a coordinated border management plan, agreeing to increase the number of joint patrolling with a view to curbing criminal activities, including terrorism, along with the 2,429 miles long border.
In the times when filmmakers are fighting it out with big-ticket productions, here are some who are garnering much praise for their content and low-budget cinema.
Hello, Daddy. Daddy, मैं बहुत मुसीबत पे फंस गया.
They say big things come in small packages and these packages tend to have a bigger impact at times. Bollywood's date at the box office continues, but this time with low-budget films which are getting much praise for their themes. Identity Card, which released recently, attempts to decipher the plight of Kashmiri civilians and law enforcement officials who often get caught between the India-Pakistan conflict and militant menace. The cast of the film, including actors Saurabh Shukla and Raghuveer Yadav, celebrated its success in entertainment capital Mumbai. Singers Shivani Kashyap and Madhushri joined them too. Shukla said the film's acceptance was a big thing.
ये फिल्म बनी और बनने के बाद फिल्म अच्छी बनी, हमें लगा अच्छी है, लेकिन ये समझ में नहीं आ रहा था किस तरह से रिलीज होगी, कैसे पहुंचेगी, लेकिन ये फिल्म पहुंची और क्रिटिक्स ने बहुत अच्छा सपोर्ट हमें दिया है.
मुझे पता चला कि जिन माँ-बापों के बेटे गायब हैं उन पे क्या गुजर रही होगी.
Identity Card traces the story about a journalist from Delhi who goes to Kashmir and gets caught by Special Task Force Cell. With no identity proof, rigorous interrogation sessions begin. While the duo claims innocence, the counter-terrorism unit thinks otherwise. For actors Sonu Sood, Tia Bajpai and Ashutosh Rana, it is all about taking to hardcore promotions for their upcoming film Desi Katte. The trio attended a special event and talked about their latest in Mumbai. Set in a small town near Kanpur, Desi Katte revolves around a man who trains the two ordinary country-made gun-maker boys to become professional sports shooters. Lead actor Sunil Shetty, along with director Anand Kumar, also promoted the film in Western Jaipur. Shetty talked about the plot.
ये दो लड़कों की कहानी है, जय और अखिल की, जो देसी बंदूकें बनाते बनाते एक दिन बाजार में जब शूट आउट चलता है तो एक एक्स मेजर जो आर्मी का जो किरदार मैं निभा रहा हूँ वो उन्हें देखता है और उनकी हुनर और टैलेंट को देखकर उसे लगता है कि ये कहीं ना कहीं गलत रास्ते पे जा रहे हैं, कहीं ना कहीं जाकर अंडरवर्ल्ड को ज्वाइन करेंगे और ज़िंदगी बर्बाद करेंगे. मेजर को लगता है कि हुनर इतना है कि उन्हें देश के लिए इस हुनर को इस्तेमाल करना चाहिए.
Desi Katte, which opens next week, also stars Jay Bhanushali, Sasha Aga and Murali Sharma.
Well, that's the way it was in South Asia this evening. Before we conclude the top stories once again. Al-Qaeda declares new wing to wage war in Indian subcontinent. Twin Taliban bombings in Afghanistan leave 18 dead. And Pakistan rejects claims of Islamic State influence in border regions. That's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time tomorrow. Good night.